How are you?
I'm fine. You want to say where you're seated?
Places, don't you?
I'll take you to your seat.
One, two.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have your attention, please. Those of you down the very back, can you hear? Okay, that's the half very back. Nino, can you hear me? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to this very special occasion. My name is Bill Sykes. I'm the local Member of Parliament, and as we'll talk about later, my staff have helped put this together with the help of many, many people. I'd like to welcome the Minister assisting the Premier for Veteran Affairs, Mr Tony Robinson, who will speak to you later. Lindsay Cox from the Salvation Army Territorial Archivist, representatives of the Salvation Army Band, members of the Benalla Caledonian Band who led the march, Max, Eddie Gilbert, Gull Force veteran, absolutely full of cheek, Norm Furness, Lark Force veteran and president of the Lark Force Association. Oh, you've got your own turn. Des O'Brien, president of the Gull Force Association. We've got to have a round of applause for them too. And Fred Kollmorgen, Salvation Army and veteran. Fred. We also have Walter Hicks, Gull Force veteran. Where's Walter? Here, front and centre. And Lionel Penny, Gull Force veteran, front and centre. Also Mayor Bill Hill and Councillor Nino Matone from the Alpine Shire, and all of you who are friends and relatives of Lark Force or Gull Force veterans, or people that have come to show your appreciation. Welcome to you all. I should note that one person who had hoped to be with us today is Henry Joseph, or Harry Beavers of the 2nd 21st. He passed away unfortunately on the 9th of this year, so he's sadly missed by us all. That leaves, as I understand it, 13 remaining members of the 2nd 21st. We're going to have a number of speeches and some music, and then at the conclusion of our ceremony here, we will adjourn to the drill hall, 250 metres down that way, where there will be afternoon tea, scones and jam and cream, and some wonderful memorabilia. So please participate in this part of the day, but do not do yourself short by not coming and joining a couple after. I'd now like to invite the Mayor, Bill Hill, to welcome you to this fabulous area of North East Victoria. Over to you, Bill.
Thank you very much, Bill. First, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land and pay respect to their elders and the elders from other communities who may be here today. We also acknowledge all other people who have contributed to the rich diversity of this country. I'd also like to welcome my fellow councillors, and particularly Nino. I see you there, Nino, from a neighbouring shire. I feel very humble when you stand here today, and we're here to celebrate what must have been one of the great memorable days, the memorable days prior to the war with this great march. I'm sure there are many stories to be told and many of great I suppose, great memories of the past. And I feel very much that I am not the person to be able to speak about that today, and there will be others. But I do, on behalf of Benalla, welcome you to this wonderful city, wonderful setting we're here today. If you'd have been here a fortnight ago, you'd have probably been sitting in water. We were under flood at that particular time, but that was a very minor challenge for the challenge that many of the people in the past have faced through their service to this wonderful country and to their communities. So on behalf, just one more thing. Normally politicians are invited to these events and they are invited to speak. I cannot let today go past without acknowledging the work that Bill Sykes, our local member, has done in making this day what it is today. I do thank Bill and his staff for all their work and commitment, because without the work they put in, I can assure you this day would not have happened. So once again, on behalf of all the residents of Benalla Rural City, I invite you here today. I hope you enjoy the day and this wonderful setting that you're in here now. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Now, the Salvation Army Band, are you hot to trot? As many of you know, the Salvation Army is an integral part of the history of the Lark Force, and we're very honoured today to have some members of the band here to play a couple of numbers. Over to you, Salvation. Thank you, gentlemen, and we will hear more from the Salvation Army Band later. I'd now like to invite Minister assisting the Premier with Veteran Affairs, Mr Tony Robinson, to speak to you. Tony is a fellow that has a genuine interest in Veterans Affairs and has taken a number of students to various parts of the world on Anzac Day to acknowledge the sacrifices of our men and women and their families. It's very fitting that Tony's going to speak to us and share his thoughts on the Lark Force and the Gull Force. Thank you, Tony.
I usually don't have that effect when I come to speak. Thank you, Bill. In by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we live, also pay my respects to those past and present. And in the sense of modern day custodians, I want to acknowledge Mr. Gilbert, the mayor of the rural city of Benalla. How's that? That's a bit better? Righto. There are many others I need to acknowledge as well. Norm Furness, the President of Lark Force Association, Des O'Brien, President of the Gull Force Association, to Lindsay Cox, the Salvation Army historian and Salvation Army members, to Max Gilbert from Gull Force, to Fred Kollmorgen from Lark Force, to the many others from Lark and Gull and Sparrow Forces, to other veterans, to ladies and gentlemen, and importantly to boys and girls. I'm very pleased to be here representing the Premier as the Minister assisting him on Veterans Affairs. And it's a pleasure to be here in the company, in fact it's a privilege to be in the company of some great men and women in what is a truly fitting location. In the shadows of those statues of Weary Dunlop and the HMAS Perth Commander Captain Peck Waller, both born in Benalla. This afternoon we commemorate the 70th anniversary of the march of Lark and Gull Forces. In late 1940 they marched 235 kilometres on foot from Trawool to Bonegilla. About half of the soldiers were recruits from Melbourne and the rest from rural Victoria. If we cast our minds back, we could probably imagine how they felt in the spring of 1940. Fit, young, healthy, full of hope, full of bravado. Literally marching off to war, as the refrain tells us, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. We remember the kindness of townsfolk they met along the way, in Euroa, Benalla, Rowan, Wangaratta, who cheered, extended to them hospitality, food and gifts. Certain as they were that the conflict would not last long, and the boys would return home safe and well. But what started as an exciting expedition in September 1940 ended up one of the darkest chapters in the Second World War. The story of the 23rd Brigade, its constituent units, has been told many times. Two bird forces, one sent to Ambon in the then Dutch East Indies, the other to Rabaul. Tales of inadequate resources, questionable leadership and strategic failure, with massive human cost. In February 1941, the Lark Force of 1,400 troops was sent to reinforce Rabaul, at that time an Australian mandated territory.